KBC Lunchtime News begins right now. Good afternoon and a warm welcome to Lunchtime News. My name is Njue. My colleague on the sign language interpretation is Ann Wangeshi. Let's take a quick look at the headlines shaping up the news conversation, including the latest after Chelsea won the FIFA World Club Championship. Straight to the news. Murang'a County Government has embarked on an upgrade of Murang'a County Referral Hospital to increase the bed capacity. The upgrade will result in the construction of a new hospital block with a bed capacity of 400, up from the current 285. Speaking during the groundbreaking ceremony at Murang'a Level 5 Hospital grounds, Murang'a Governor Irungu Kang'ata said the new wing will improve access to quality medical services. The new facility will have a modern casualty department catering to both adults and children, along with a wing for specialist outpatient services, a fully equipped laboratory, pharmacy, and radiology services. Meanwhile, the county held a graduation of the third cohort of the Murang'a Youth Service.
Hospitali watu walikuwa nalala wawili kwa wawili. Tumetoa hospitali kutoka vitanda 100, sasa iko vitanda 400 hapa Murang'a Level 5.
Experts 5 years ago projected something called a youth bulge, that in the next several years the young people will be out there asking for opportunities. We did not plan well those years. Now we have a duty to plan Kenya in a better way.
And that is why umeuliza mambo ya job creation, ukasema ndio shida kubwa sana. Na wewe umejua problem where the problem is. Peter Salasi amejua penye problem iko. Mheshimiwa Babu amejua penye problem iko. Si tuungane pamoja na tufomu mrengo mmoja na tukomboe Kenya.
Elsewhere, Kirinyaga County Governor Migori has urged locals to embrace routine cancer screening for early detection and treatment. According to the county boss, the rising prevalence of cancer cases poses serious socio-economic challenges. Migori made the remarks during a tour of Kirinyaga Hospital Cancer Center. She hailed the facility that is taking the lead in the county to improve access to oncology care and save lives. The facility, since its establishment in 2016, has so far supported more than 3,000 cancer patients and offers a range of services including early screening, treatment, psychological support, and follow-up care.
Even when prevention is not possible, early diagnosis can save lives. I urge all the residents of Kirinyaga County to embrace routine screening, since many forms of cancer diagnosed at an early stage can be managed and treated successfully. With this cancer center, many more people in our county will now access the care they need under one roof, with their families close by. It will save them traveling long distances and incurring costs in search of cancer treatment at national referral facilities.
Anytime we get a new patient, we always do a counseling session. Every time a new patient, after the patient has been seen by the oncologist or the clinical oncologist or the gyne-onco, they'll go then to Maureen for the counseling.
Mwenye anaenda hosi anasikia akona hiyo shida, usiwe unaogopa. Mtu anaenda unatibio na unaendelea na maisha ya kawaida. Mimi sasa niko sawa, nimefanya kazi yangu yote na hakuna mashida nakuwa nayo.
In other news, Senate Speaker Amason Jeffa Kingi has urged coastal residents to rally behind the Pamoja African Alliance Party, PAR, as the 2027 general election approaches if they want to be in President William Ruto's next government. Kingi, who is also the PAR party leader, said that more development will be realized in the area through a united political vehicle. On his part, Ganze MP Kenneth Kazungu Tugule also urged aspiring politicians to vie for seats under the PAR ticket. They were speaking after launching a science laboratory at Banga Secondary School in Kinango constituency that was funded by the National Government Constituency Fund, NGCDF.
Ile wakati Mheshimiwa Ruto anaunda serikali yake ya kipindi cha pili, Mpwani yuko katikati. yuko ndani na ndani ya serikali yake. Tumejipanga na mipengano ile ndiyo Mheshimiwa Tungule amezungumza. Bila hivyo Mheshimiwa Ruto atakuwa rais wa kipindi cha pili, ili wakati serikali inaundwa, nyinyi kama wakazi wa Pwani mna sauti ya kutisha ndani ya serikali ya Mheshimiwa William Ruto.
Education stakeholders from Busia County have hailed the Ministry of Education for the continued infrastructure support for the competency-based education. The stakeholders, speaking at a graduation ceremony at the Busia Teachers Training College, stated that to realize the full implementation of CBE, the ministry needs to work on mechanisms that will enhance early disbursement of capitation funds to improve a syllabus rollout in the new curriculum.
Tumekuwa na changamoto ya funding in the 844, na tukiendelea hivyo CBC itakuwa mbaya sana, kwa sababu is a practical curriculum. Wanahitaji vitu vingi waweze kufanya practically.
And still on education, parents are being urged to support their children in selecting senior secondary schools and aligning their chosen pathway with career goals ahead of the transition to grade 10. Under CBE, learners joining senior school will pursue 1 to 3 pathways, namely science, technology, engineering and mathematics, social sciences, arts and sports science.
Speaking during a recent prize-giving event at Mama Ngina Girls High School in Mombasa, Technical University of Mombasa Vice-Chancellor Professor Leila Abubakar said the new education model will nurture talent, accelerate learning and foster creativity. She lauded teachers in grade 8 and 9 for their dedication in preparing learners for the transition to senior schools.
I believe that it will be a good transition and it will be very, very smooth, and the students now will be able to take the courses or to prepare them so that by the time they go to the university during placement, they already know which courses or which pathway they are going to take.
The VC also encouraged schools at the coast to embrace the blue economy under technical education, whereby marine is one of the courses.
Marine biology, maritime courses, engineering, marine engineering, shipping and logistics, zote hizo zinaweza kufanyika kwa hawa watoto wetu.
On a part, Mama Ngina Girls High School Chief Principal Mona Omar confirmed that the school is fully equipped for the transition. Sentiments echoed by Mombasa County Education Officer Samuel Kiragu.
We are very ready for the transition. We want to challenge ourselves to take the very new courses that there are in the CBC so that we give it a try.
Our schools in Mombasa and also in the coast region are able to offer STEM. Those who can afford, they are able to offer the pathways. We have already recommended them, and parents are in the process of selecting, and we are in the process of completing the whole process.
Joseph Ohungu for Lunchtime News.
Moving on, the Kenya Union of Clinical Officers, KUCO, has put on notice the Nairobi County of a failure to address clinicians' concerns despite having been on strike since the 21st of April 2025. According to KUCO, operations in hospitals across the county have been greatly affected, with level 4 and 5 facilities worst affected. They are now calling for the intervention of Governor Johnson Sakaja to resolve the matter. The issues that they want addressed include promotions and job group redesignation, as well as implementation of their career guidelines, which were approved in May 2024.
Our 3 demands are: we have our 5 officers with appointment letters be posted, and we have the career guidelines implemented, and the third issue has been promotion and redesignation. Our members have stagnated at the same job group for the longest.
Our dispensaries, our health centers, our level 4 hospitals around Nairobi, most of the outpatients and the theater services are not available. And those that are available are only those that can be able to handle the minimum safety measures or emergency services. For almost 3 months now, we have not seen the governor try to address these issues. And the officer under him, they keep frustrating the process.
Even the day ile siku yenye uliona yule kijana alikuwa amekufa kapelekwa Mbagathi, the person who was attending to that patient was an intern. They have been using intern as the primary service providers. That is the truth. Instead of responding to the critical call for them to promote our people, they have resolved to mutilate our strike by using interns. Hiyo haitajiki, lakini pia ujue level 3 ile ambayo haina interns, level 2 zote hakuna huduma ambazo zimekuwa zikiendelea.
Solidarity forever, for the union makes us strong.
And back to the education bit, Nairobi National Polytechnic has modularized their curriculum within the competency-based education and training (CBET) framework. This approach allows for flexible learning, enabling individuals to acquire specific skills and competencies at their own pace and according to their needs. Chief Principal at the Nairobi National Polytechnic, Glory Mutungi, noted that the approach will enable learners to acquire skill training and competencies more flexibly and efficiently.
We are offering Internet of Things, artificial intelligence. This is to make our curriculums respond to the demands of the industry. We have also done a lot of training to our trainers, retooling them, taking them for short courses at Kenya School of TVET and the ones that have been organized by the State Department. This is to make them fully equipped to deliver the new curriculum to the trainees.
Moving on, leaders from Laikipia and Nyandarua counties have called on young people to abandon destructive demonstrations and embrace more constructive, peaceful avenues for expressing their grievances. Led by Kiama elder in charge of the two counties, Dominic Ngera, urged the youth to refrain from participating in protests that result in mayhem and economic sabotage. He emphasized that while the youth have a right to voice their concerns, there are lawful and effective channels through which their issues can be addressed.
Wajifikirie sana wakati mwingine wakitoka wakisema wakatoe fujo au wakandamane, wasije wakafikiria kuharibu nyumba zao. Kwa maana ukiharibu nyumba yako na utarudi katika hiyo nyumba yako, je, wewe utakaa wapi?
Hii mambo ya kuharibu mali ni jambo ambalo linastahili kukemewa na kila mtu. Hakuna haki hata kama wewe ni nani kuchukua sheria mikononi mwako, kupigana na polisi. Mbona tupigane na polisi jamani? Mbona tuchome mali za watu ambao wametafuta mali kwa miaka mingi sana? Niliona jambo la kilio na aibu sana.
The government, through the Ministry of Health, has been urged to work in partnership with clubs that focus on supporting the vulnerable communities in various parts of the country. President of Rotarians in Nairobi, Leah Wambui Mburu, says the move would ensure needy persons who face various challenges are supported. Mburu further says they have established a free medical camp for residents in Kirinyaga.
So kuna upasuaji itafanywa ya wanawake 20 na hawa wanawake wasaidika sana na hii upasuaji wa hii teknolojia mpya imekuja inaitwa laparoscopy. Serikali ninawaomba sana waangalie upande wa ya dawa. Dawa zimekuwa chache na watu ni wengi wanataka kupata dawa.
The hospitals are accessible, but they are not able to get the medication from the hospitals they are asked to go and buy. So one of the things that has brought traffic to the medical camp is the aspect that we were giving free medication to the people who are coming here.
And in matters governance, majority of Laikipia residents have expressed their dissatisfaction with public participation conducted by the county government. A survey released by Twaweza East Africa at an Nyuki hotel revealed that 75% of residents lamented that it was difficult to access information on budgets, legislation and project plans. 68% claimed influencing county decisions was hard, while another 63% pointed out that they were only informed of what had already been decided.
Jambo lingine tumeleza kulipata ni kwamba public participation iko chini sana. City Laikipia, japokuwa Laikipia iko chini kidogo when we compare to the national average.
Tumeweza kuangalia gaps ambazo zina exist katika ile framework ya public participation, na tumejua kwamba tumekosa sheria ambayo inatusaidia ama inaongoza utaratibu wa public participation.
An interdenominational prayer session in Kakalda Ward, Nyatike constituency, Migori County, was disrupted after clashes broke out, forcing attendees to scamper for safety. Tensions escalated when the area member of County Assembly MCA arrived at the venue, but was intercepted by a group of hostile youth, forcing him to flee. Political leaders present at the event condemned the violence, warning that such incidents could escalate into full-blown political conflict as the general elections approach.
Wewe umeumiza mwenzako, unaumiza mwenzako, unaenda hospitali. Sisi wote tuende pamoja. Tafadhali, tusiwahi kubali siasa ya kuumizana. Ama namna gani?
136 families out of the 800 integrated internally displaced persons living in Jericho Ward in Salama Ward, Laikipia West, have received parcels of land measuring 50 by 100 feet, courtesy of donations coordinated by the diaspora media. Speaking on behalf of the beneficiaries, IDP's coordinator James Mwaura lauded diaspora media for the gesture and called on the government to act on the recommendations by the Senate Committee on Lands.
We decided to buy them 10 acres, but Mungu akakuwa mwema sana. We were able to buy 16 acres, which we subdivided to 136 plots. That is for 50 by 100 plots. Ya kupatia familia 136.
Hii eka 16 ni ajabu. Sisi hatulichukulii tu hivi bure ama kitu cha kuangalia tu hivi, lakini tunachukulia kitu kikubwa.
Legislator Shabir has apologized to the teaching fraternity after a viral video of him reprimanding a teacher at a local school in his constituency sparked public outrage. In the video, the MP appears to be threatening to sack teachers in the school over what he says is poor performance by the learners. In his defense, Shabir says the contents of the video were taken out of context. Take a look.
Ucheze, I have got you by name. I am asking for your records. Ninataka kujua unaingia saa ngapi, unafanya nini? I have put somebody here where bado kujua.
It is this video that has sparked public outrage. The Kisumu East legislator appears to be giving what seems to be a dress down to the teachers over poor performance and lack of timekeeping.
You and the rest yake. How dare you? How dare you? Who the hell are you? What's your name? Okito, you think you can just sit there like this? Wengine nasimama mzuri, wewe nasimama kama nini? Huh?
Power!
The video, which surfaced online, has attracted the wrath of teachers' unions.
Union makes us strong. Solidarity. Power. Solidarity.
Kupet and Nat both demanding an apology, failure to which they were threatening action.
As a union, an injury to one is an injury to all of us. An injury to one is an injury to all of us. That is why the whole nation is united. The whole nation of teachers, the teaching fraternity, up to and including the employer and the Ministry of Education. We are all united to condemn the actions.
That this action of the Member of Parliament must be taken very seriously, and the reason for which the union in Nyanza demands that the government takes full charge and ensure that teachers are not mistreated the way the Member of Parliament has exhibited his behavior to be in that school.
The legislator has since apologized, saying the contents of the video may have been taken out of context.
So, you know, there is a basic problem, and I was facing a situation where the school could totally close down, and maybe I did overreact. I apologize again to the teachers. I was brought up by a teacher. I have qualified myself over time. I personally have three masters and I'm a doctorate. So I made a mistake.
Shakil said that just like any other concerned stakeholder, poor academic performance in the institution was worrying.
Because my first responsibility is to the children. Our parents cannot send their children to school for 4 years only to get A's. Bursaries are there. The government of Kenya is paying each teacher, you know, so much money every month. And for us only to get E's and only 82 students, 40 of which are in Form 4, then 40 and how many in Form 3, how many in Form 2, how many in Form 1. So, you know, there is a basic problem.
The legislator is now calling for a collective approach from the school administration and other stakeholders to ensure the school's academic output improves. Achala Simon, Lunchtime News, Kisumu County.
Forever, solidarity forever.
And in other news, Kisii County Women Representative Doris Ndonya Aburi has expressed frustrations over repeated vandalism of her Kisii town office, which she says has hindered her efforts to serve the public. Speaking while presiding over an empowerment program for widows, widowers, and the girl child from Birongo World at Taracha Comprehensive School, she pledged to repair the office to enable the needy register for assistance. She further emphasized the importance of shunning gender-based violence to preserve family unity.
We will need some time to itengeneze juu hatuna any other place where they can come. Wamama wamefurahia mpaka tumeongea na wazee on GBV kwa sababu siku hizi mama na baba wanapigana kwa nyumba na hiyo inaleta aibu kwa watoto wetu.
Social activists in Kwale County have urged the government to amend land laws to address challenges associated with land ownership. Led by the director of Kwale Women Focus Initiative, Pendo Lugogo, they emphasized the need for the government to collaborate with stakeholders to raise awareness among residents on land management laws.
Katika sheria, policies and laws ziko na mapungufu kidogo, na tungependelea ya kwamba hizi sheria ziweze kufanyiwa adjustment ili mwananchi aweze kupata nafuu katika masuala mazima ya ardhi kwenye kuumiliki na haswa katika utoaji wa ardhi ili miradi iweze kufanyika katika kaunti yetu ya Kwale.
Now, the Ministry of Health has enlisted the support of religious bodies and school and intensified efforts to ensure every eligible child receives the typhoid, measles and rubella vaccines. But as Leila Sodiq found out, that in Marsabit, the target set may not be realized with barely a day to the end of the campaign.
The clock is fast ticking to the Monday's 14 July deadline for completion of the 10 days national vaccination campaign against measles and typhoid. Here in Marsabit, health workers are rushing against time to ensure every child aged between 9 months and 14 years gets the typhoid jab, and those aged between 9 months and 5 years are vaccinated against measles.
It has been found that there's a lot of issue with typhoid, especially children who always complain of stomach. And before this, we usually do widow test, which is not satisfactory. But after the cultures that has been done, maybe in Nairobi and other areas, it has been found that most of the children are suffering from typhoid. Thus, this one brought about this activity.
The decentralization of vaccination services down to the schools, madrasas and churches will ensure millions of children are protected from life-threatening measles, rubella and TB diseases.
Tulikubaliana kwamba wakati itafanywa launching, siku ya kwanza tutaanza na madrasa. Kumbuka ilikuwa ni siku ya weekend na madrasa zinapatikana Jumamosi na Jumapili.
Kanisa inabeba watu wengi. Na unakuta kama siku ya Jumapili makanisa, unakuta watoto wametengenezewa madrasa yao. So unakuta kuna mkusanyiko wa watoto mahali ambapo tunaweza kuwafikia kwa umoja.
Schools have not been left out either. And here at Fountain Gate Academy, a sensitized parent arrived keen to ensure her children receive these essential vaccines.
Toka kwangu kwenda hospitali kuu ya Marsabit ni mbali kidogo na ninatumia my own means kufika huko. Sasa kwa vile hii chanjo imeletwa shuleni, nikaona sasa mambo imefanywa rahisi.
Myths and disinformation about the vaccines has been addressed.
This vaccine will boost immunity of our children, both for MR and typhoid and also other routine vaccination.
Unatakiwa upeleke mtoto yako. Kwa hivyo ukichelewa leo, mara nyingine itakuwa ngumu kupatikana kwa sababu iko na kipindi fulani imewekwa.
Inasaidia watoto wetu. Na ukienda huko ushago, tayari malaria nini, typhoid hizi zote imeanza. Watoto wakipata sindano hii watakuwa afadhali na wanapona vizuri.
Daki is determined to ensure her children aren't left behind.
Hizi chanjo ni kama zile chanjo tu watoto wetu wanapata wakati wanapozaliwa pale hospitalini siku ya kwanza na kuendelea hadi miezi 9. Haina tofauti. Pengine serikali imeona umuhimu wa watoto kupata chanjo. Kwa hivyo haina haja sisi kukataa kupata chanjo.
The United Nations Children's Fund, UNICEF, says vaccines prevent over 4 million child mortality cases annually. In Marsabit County, only 40% of the 200,000 children targeted for vaccination had been covered by the end of the week.
In Marsabit County, we have very few teams due to resource challenges. These teams cannot be able to move to everywhere that we want these children to be vaccinated. So the challenges are there, but as a county, we try our best to dispatch our team to all the counties and ensure that a good supervision is done so that we get a good number of these children to be vaccinated.
These challenges risk making the target unattainable, even with the initiative of taking the services closer to the people.
Muda ule ambao tumepewa, number one, is not enough. Bado hatujafikisha ile target ambayo serikali iko inataka tufike. Langu ni kusema ya kwamba kama vile kanisa imehusishwa tuongezewe muda kidogo.
For KBC Channel 1, my name is Leila.
Very well, at about 1:30, that report by Leila all the way from Marsabit County takes us to a fast break. But when we come back, we still have more news, including the latest from the world of sports. I have the Wimbledon finals and also the Club World Cup finals. All the actions and more after this break.
nimeona nini? Nimeanza kuona mapaka shumi, masinga o ng'ombe.
I am watching my weight.
Kama ni official tu na hakuna kitu buda. Na mbona unakaa kama mtu ameuza shamba ya babio ukakula pesa yote? Unanivurutia nini kama ng'ombe?
Mjana vivi. Katonge alibaje nini? Wewe.
Kuna mtu amekuja akakula ndio akaileta hapa. Hivi ni sawa kweli?
Vitimbi hotel iko na pepo.
Nasema mimi ni pastor. Na nasema nimekuja
unakuja unatengeleza.
Kutoa mapepo kwa hotel. Nini man?
And Lamin Kamara with his first career goal.
Ni muda wa kuhesabu kwa ajili ya kusherekea fasili na asili ya soka barani Afrika, ligi za ndani na magwiji wasiotambulika.
Mangeni Alvin anaichanja ndani uzuri, David!
Michuano ya CAF ya mataifa ya Afrika 2024 ni njia ya kuzindua kupanua mtandao wa wachezaji ulimwenguni. Timu itakayoshinda itazawadiwa dola za Marekani milioni 3.5 pamoja na kujivunia kulinyanyua kombe hilo. Pata manufaa zaidi kutoka kwa CHAN 2024 mubashara na kipute cha kipekee kwenye runinga ya KBC Channel 1, mwenzio wa dhati michezoni.
Welcome back. Let's proceed. A group of youth leaders under the Migori Africa Foundation have called on IEBC to uphold impartiality, transparency and fairness as the country heads towards the 2027 general elections. Speaking during a press briefing in Ruiru, the foundation's patron, Bishop David Munyiri Thagana, echoed the youth's sentiments, emphasizing the need for objectivity and professionalism in the commission's operations. The amid a tense political climate with mounting public demand for reforms, accountability and inclusion in governance processes.
Make sure that our youth clearly understand that going to the streets and destroying property and chaos does not help either this country or the youth themselves. It doesn't add jobs, it actually reduces jobs. It doesn't build the economy, it actually destroys the economy.
I would also like to urge our IEBC. It has been constituted and gazetted, and we would like our IEBC to just uphold a fair and honest election that is full of integrity.
Now, growing up in Mathare, where opportunities are few and hope are distant, not many youth find a way to break free from the cycles of hardship. For Liliana Dhiambo, however, the sewing machine was her key to unlocking a better life, not just for her, but for those around her too. With every stitch, she not only makes clothes, but also builds a bridge to a brighter future. Take a look.
In a neighborhood where opportunity is scarce, Liliana Dhiambo saw possibility.
Huko ndio nilianzia maisha, alafu pia nilionelea ni vizuri niweke kazi yangu karibu na kule ambapo naishi.
Her journey with fashion began in 2013, fueled by nothing more than passion and a borrowed sewing machine.
Sikuanza hapa, nilianza kwingine, lakini leo hii nashukuru Mungu nimefika hapa. At least naweza ita hapa mahali pangu pa kazi.
Linado fashion caters to a wide range of clients, from Nairobi artists and professionals to neighbors right next door.
Unajua kuna wale baadhi ya wafanyikazi wenye wanafanya kazi kwa kampuni. Unajua orders kama hizo ukipata unapata kazi kubwa mara moja. So mimi utarget watu kama hao. Ama wale ambao wako kwa serikali.
But for Lilian, this is more than a business. It's a calling. Before fashion, Lillian walked a different path, but her heart kept pulling her back to the machine.
Niliishi kupenda tu toka utotoni mwangu, niliishi kupenda kazi ya fashion and design. Kutoka tu nilikuwa mtoto juu sasa nikiwa tuseme class 2-3 nilikuwa naweza kutengeneza vitu kwa mkono, tuseme like earrings, tu manguo tudogo. So personally kutoka tu utotoni mwangu nimekuwa nikipenda hii kazi.
Behind her brand is a woman balancing many roles.
I'm married with 4 kids and 1 boy. Nimeajiri watu wote wako hapa, nimewaajiri nao machine operators, kuna wale wa mikono, na hii kazi inawasaidia sana.
Nifanya hii kazi na experience saizi, hata nikiamua saizi nifunge kazi niko na experience.
She has also nurtured several careers and earned respect from her clients.
Always okay with how they do their work. I feel nikitembea nasikia tu niko sawa because of the work they are doing.
With the power of social media, her brand is no longer confined to the Madhare's borders.
Nimechukua pictures na Instagram ama WhatsApp status ama hiyo Facebook, na huwa inanisaidia sana because by doing that unapata kuna watu wanakupigia, ninaona hii ni wewe umetengeneza huko wapi. Imenisaidia sana by the way.
A simple sewing machine to many is just a tool, but here in Mathare it's a beacon, a second chance, a dream stitched into reality. Julia Sogina, KBC.
Make sense of shillings and cents in business. 15 financial institutions have been enrolled in the warehouse receipt system in readiness for the countrywide rollout. Warehousing Receipt Council Chief Executive Officer Lucy Komen says once fully operationalized, the receipt system will target to reduce post-harvest losses from the current over 30% to 5% by the year 2027 through market linkages and adequate storage facilities.
The warehousing receipt system is expected to be rolled out across the country within 2 years. An additional 11 financial institutions have been onboarded to the system. So far, 25 warehouses have been licensed to transact under the system, with the council targeting to onboard another 40 warehouses countrywide by 2027.
So far, we have pre-inspected over 100 warehouses, and we have licensed 25. So it's a tedious and long, process, and we have a big shortage of fit-for-purpose warehouses.
Farmers, we are expecting for, as my chair said, this is a structured commodity trade. So we are expecting for our farmers to do what they know best, to farm, and so that there is access to market.
The warehousing receipt system will see farmers access credit with the harvest stored in accredited warehouses acting as collateral.
We are able to use a warehouse receipt as collateral vis-a-vis the banks asking for title deeds or a payslip or such. So it gives me, gives the women and youth an alternative collateral.
The warehousing receipt system is linked to the commodity exchange to help support farmers access markets.
Commodity exchange basically provides a trading platform that is transparent, that allows onboarding of different value chain actors who would then be able to trade digitally commodities that have been aggregated and processed through a warehouse receipt.
Benson Druba reporting for Lunchtime News.
Communications and marketing agency Treasure Communications says it is on course to expand into the Southern Africa and the Middle East by setting up regional hubs and pursuing new partnerships. Managing Director Frank Moria says the move is part of a broader strategy to deepen its footprint in high-growth markets. The agency also plans to grow its portfolio through its subsidiaries by prioritizing impact-driven markets across borders.
Our expansion
the strategy
has
is
really
expected
been
to kick off fully towards the end of the year 2025.
Our expansion has really been driven by demand from our clients that we serve. If you look at our attendees today, you have clients that we've served for more than 8 years. They have been with us. Their growth has been amazing.
We handle two key channels. That's the modern trade channel and the traditional channel that is called the general trade. So it's understanding the client's deliverables, then meeting with the right personnel, and that helps us deliver.
Asset financing is steadily taking root in Kenya, with businesses, especially small and medium-sized enterprises, embracing the solution to ease pressure on spending huge capital upfront on costly assets. NCBA Group Director of Asset Finance and Business Solutions, Lennox Mugambi, says the solution is helping businesses easily access critical tools and equipment needed to fuel their growth.
Construction industry has been struggling, looking at cement consumption that is down, looking at construction projects that has also come down. So we are there to catalyze growth in the construction sector. In terms of these finances, that we are financing up to 90% of the cost of the construction equipment.
Now, a survey by Knight Frank shows that high net worth individuals in Kenya are moving away from foreign homes and luxury residential property in favor of local income generating investments. This has prompted a number of financial institutions to customize products for wealthy Kenyans by offering them private banking, insurance, wealth and investment management, as well as exclusive privileges and lifestyle benefits.
So strategically, what we are doing with our premier banking offering is bringing our entire Pan-African footprint to bear, making that available to our premier banking customers so that we can meet their needs seamlessly with our unique proposition, which is our ability to connect you to 35 countries simultaneously across Africa.
Our desire to grow the growing segment of affluent and emerging affluent clients. So this includes professionals, entrepreneurs, and the African diaspora.
International medical coverage.
And in sports, world #1 Jannik Sinner defeated Spanish second seed Carlos Alcaraz to become the first Italian to win the Wimbledon title at All England club. Alcaraz started strong, taking the first set, but Sinner took control of the match onwards, winning 4-6, 6-4, 6-4, 6-4 in a four-set thriller. This was the first ever meeting in a Wimbledon final, with Sinner being the first player to beat Alcaraz in the Grand Slam final. Sinner has won the Wimbledon title for the third time consecutively, having defeated four-time champion Serbian Novak Djokovic in 2023 and 2024. From one big win to another big win, Chelsea were crowned the FIFA Club World Cup champions last night after producing a dominant display to beat Paris Saint-Germain 3-0 in a thrilling final played at the MetLife Stadium. With United States President Donald Trump in attendance, Cole Palmer inspired the Blues to victory, scoring a brace in the 22nd and 30th minutes and setting up the third goal for Joao Pedro in the 42nd minute. PSG, who were missing key defenders Lucas Hernandez and William Pacho through red card suspensions, struggled to contain Chelsea's fast attacking play and also failed to find a breakthrough following Robert Sanchez's saves. Chelsea's victory not only secured silverware for them, but also sent a resounding message that they are back among the elites.
Failed to find a breakthrough following Robert Sanchez's saves.
What a save! Brilliant Sanchez to deny Dembele. That is as good as a goal.
Benny's been brilliant tonight. Honestly, he has. He's been outstanding.
Chelsea's victory not only secured silverware for them, but also sent a resounding message that they are back among the elites.
From the Blues' new number 9. Can you imagine that introduction if it ends up in the corner of Donnarumma's net? It very nearly did.
For Lunchtime News, my name is Cynthia Otieno.
And the Club World Cup belongs to Chelsea Football Club.
Very well, and before we wrap up this bulletin, allow me to just take one more news item here, where insurance companies should develop innovative products as well as review some of the existing ones to attract more Kenyans to embrace insurance. Insurance Regulatory Authority Chief Executive Officer Godfrey Kiptum is also challenging banks to tap bank assurance that is largely untapped in Kenya to develop innovative and personalized insurance products.
Insurance penetration in Kenya is currently at 2.3%, which is below the global average of 7.2%. All insurance companies in Kenya are headquartered in Nairobi, with most not having offices in all counties. In addition, insurance products do not resonate with the public, fueling the low insurance uptake. To correct this, the Insurance Regulatory Authority Chief Executive Officer Godfrey Kiptum is challenging insurance to develop innovative products that resonate with the masses.
So do you have time to do investments? I don't know what edits will be doing when people are on subsistence existence. It's a very difficult thing to do, but we can make a change.
He's rooting for targeted products such as the one for the affluent and ultra-wealthy clients to cover their financial risk, wealth protection and legacy planning.
This is your target. But I think now that has really changed, and we must commend the bank assurance for that kind of change, and we want to encourage you.
I would like to encourage you, this journey that we are starting and the work that the regulator is doing to deepen in insurance, bank assurance in this market, let's adopt it. Let's ask ourselves, when we talk about live life, be curious.
Through partnerships like this, we aim to offer sustainable financial solutions to ensure families are protected from life uncertainties.
Kenya's affluent market is growing, with the number of dollar millionaires in the country increasing to about 7,200. The bank assurance market in Kenya is valued at 23 billion shillings. Alan Auko, Lunchtime News.
Very well, and that report by Alan Aoko takes us to a tail end of this bulletin. Thank you so much indeed for making time. My name is Njue. Anne Wangeshi has been my colleague on the sign language interpretation. More news at 7 and 9, not forgetting at 4, Kurunzi Mashinani. Many thanks indeed. Do have yourself a blessed afternoon and week ahead.
on, me brethren, big things are going. Remember, each and every Monday we have to shell down the place with nothing but the best of smooth way the vibes in your favorite station. You know these things, man.
Alafu kila Tuesday, kata simu tupo side, giving you Kenyan music from the 254.
And of course, you can spice up your Wednesday by enjoying blazing hot hip-hop and R&B jams.
We don't got no label. She say she want bottles.
Vibes and vibes as we go all across Africa, Kenya, Nigeria, Ghana, all the way to Tanzania to give you nothing but the best on Afro Thursday. Make sure you make a date with us each and every single Friday with me, DJ_Liza Diva,
DJ Cold,
and me, Wanjiko. This is Club One Extra.
Unanifanya nisikie kunongwa Hadija ai Mani especially ukisonga.
Hello, fabulous ladies. Welcome to the talk show that's all about sisterhood, empowerment, and unfiltered conversation. We will be focusing on women. We believe in women.
We are really changing.
We are creating a safe space for women to connect, thrive, and share.
Just because you're a woman on a bike, you're labeled in a certain way.
It's not just a talk show, it's a movement.
When they are standing, we need to stand out.
From heartwarming tales to hilarious adventures.
They could ask me, Catherine, why are you learning?
We are turning the spotlight on women who are breaking barriers in their individual fields.
You have to have a vision.
You are the leaders of Kenya today.
Keeping it honest and relatable.
Mental health is real.
Yes.
Where there is no communication, there is no relationship.
Join the sisterhood on KBC TV for Dada's show.
My name is Crystal Dilworth. I'm a neuroscientist with a PhD from Caltech in Pasadena, California. Medical breakthroughs can often seem like a common occurrence, but true innovation does not come daily. Today, we go inside a laboratory making the impossible possible. It's a world where genes can be re-engineered and lives can be saved.
This is the beginning of an era of medicine development that the medicine is a living cell, sometimes from your own body and sometimes not.
Next, we'll meet the children benefiting from these discoveries, defying odds and genetics one day at a time. Inside the Cure Factory.
Powering the future. Confronting the world's challenges with cutting-edge solutions, medical breakthroughs, and high-tech discoveries. These are the stories of our planet. This is VOA Tech.
There are moments in time that are noteworthy, not because they're extraordinary, but because they are simply a part of everyday life. A father and son play on the street in front of their home. A moment in time captured in a flash of sun, a smile, and a look of sheer wonder. For Nate Nielsen and his son Gavin, there's both nothing and everything special about this time together.
Gavin's 3.5. He loves monster trucks. He loves playing outside, loves playing on his water table. He loves water. Very independent, very, very much wanting to do things on his own. Be brave, strong. Yeah, I love him a lot, so.
Welcome to Monroe, Washington, a quaint and typically Northwest American community. Just about a 45-minute ride north of Seattle, Monroe is surrounded by trees, mountains, and home to one of the nicest families you'll ever know. Meet the Nielsens, Nate, Ashley, Gavin, and new baby, Aurora.
Tell me a little bit about Gavin. How old is he? What is his personality like?
So he is 3.5, and he is so full of energy. But he is, I wouldn't say your typical 3.5-year-old. he's so smart, and he has been. He always keeps us on our toes. And he just completely just amazes us all the time, and, anyone that he meets.
Pop quiz. What is the name of this one? El Toro Loco. And with the wheelie bar.
Most of all, Gavin loves his monster trucks. But it seems like the love of monster trucks is kind of exemplifying a lot of the things that you were saying that you see in him and his personality,
Yes.
like how smart he is and how engaged and how he loves to learn. I mean, he clearly knows everything there is to know about these trucks.
Yeah.
And another Hot Wheel. Another one? That one looks very 1980s. You will never know Saved by the Bell, but I remember it.
But there's ways that Gavin isn't like his peers as well.
All right,
He's got a tongue hanging out. Oh my goodness. Oh, and that's the end. What? That's it. That's it. All right. We saw all the trucks. Thank you for showing them to me. And Gavin is special for some other reasons too. Can you tell me about that?
Yeah.
What's his name? That one looks like a taxi. Taxi.
Gavin has a DIPG, which is a brainstem tumor.
It's a stage 4 high-grade glioma on his brainstem, and it's in the pons area. And it's terminal upon diagnosis. The average life expectancy is about, I think it's 9 to 12 months.
Can you tell me the story about discovering the diagnosis and a little bit of what that was like for you?
Yeah. So that was, probably the toughest day of my life.
You thought you were taking him in for something that was probably pretty normal, and then the day took a turn. Gavin was having trouble with his right eye. Doctors ordered up an MRI just to be sure. Little Gavin was just 2 years old. He was sedated for the scan.
And then I was there when he woke up. And so I was sitting there, but then the nurses come back and they're like, "Oh, is Dad here?" And I was like, "Well, no, like he's in the car." And they're like, "Oh, okay." Like, "Well, why don't you call him and have him come in here?" And I was like, "Oh no!" Like inside, my heart sank, everything just, and I got chills, and I knew it wasn't good.
And then as I walked inside, I kind of had that sinking feeling, like you see in the movies. That's when we saw Dr. Vitanza for the first time.
Nick Vitanza is now Gavin's doctor. When it comes to pediatric brain tumors, there may be no one better. If there's a chance for a treatment for this terrible disease, it just might come from labs like the Vitanza lab at Seattle Children's Research Institute.
I remember it being the end of a regular workday and going to meet the family. And so I think Gavin was maybe even still waking up from his sedation for the MRI.
When Dr. Vitanza introduced himself, he's from neuro-oncology, and of course we know what oncology is, and we're just like, oh God, and what, and I could barely get it out, and I was just like, what, worst case scenario, like that's all I could say. And then that's when he told us the prognosis of DIPG.
If I remember Gavin's parents, their response was a very devastated but loving response, and like holding Gavin's hand and being present while they were hearing the news.
I don't even remember exactly the series of things, but like we're just like
as a mom, I mean, your child is just waking up from anesthesia. Right. You've just, like had the stuffing knocked out of you.
Yeah, and that's how it stayed. That's how it stayed. And we, got on the phone. I called my mom. He called his mom. So we made that call, and of course that's hard. And then we made a couple other calls to close people. He called his brother, and I called my best friend and stuff, and we told them. And of course for us, we don't think about the other side. It was just like, call on the phone, like, hey, Gavin has brain tumor. Like, we didn't even think like what they were doing, like,
right.
Were they sitting down? Were they, with their family? Were they, and stuff? It was just like our world had stopped. Just like nothing, like just completely, like it just nothing else mattered.
And there is so much heart and so much love in that family. I was so impressed with the way that they're sort of all pulling together around Gavin.
Yeah, it's a cruelty of the disease that they seem to be the loveliest families that are affected, but they are a particularly wonderful group that really have supported Gavin in every way all through this.
So it was like, okay, well, what can we do? Is there anything we can do? And for us, my understanding was the first step in finding out if there's anything we can do is to do a biopsy.
Gavin's tumor was in the base of his brain at the spinal cord. A biopsy would mean brain surgery, risky at best.
What was explained to us with the biopsy was that there are many clinical trials that are dependent on the biopsy.
So that opened the door.
And so that was very much okay, well then let's do this.
Etched into the Seattle skyline is a gleaming glass structure that stands for so much hope. Seattle Children's Research Institute is as awe-inspiring as it is cutting edge. Most of all, the work being done here is making a difference today. Dr. Vitanza invited us up to his lab. His work with patients like Gavin is supported by the discoveries made here.
This is our tissue culture room where two of our scientists, Matt and Carrie, work with brain tumor cells, which are most often actually taken from a patient's biopsy or from another resection that they have. And then we grow them either in dishes and flasks and tissue culture.
So the cells we're about to see are real tumor cells from real people, real patients. For Gavin and his parents, the Vitanza lab scientists provided a chance to change the odds stacked against them. There would be risk and a venture into the unknown, but also hope. Gavin was going to get a cutting-edge treatment known as CAR T-cell therapy.
So I had a family not too long ago tell me that they were glad that I'm a CAR T-cell salesman and not a used CAR T-cell salesman. And I think that I took as a compliment.
CAR T-cell therapy has been a game changer, reversing tumors in certain cancers like leukemia, but it has not been tried for tumors like Gavin's.
It's kind of like we're on a lunar landing module landing on the moon for the first time.
When it comes to cutting-edge cancer treatments, kids are not always the first to benefit from newest research and therapies. Dr. Michael Jensen is out to change that. He's founder of the Institute's Bentown Center for Childhood Cancer and the force behind the center's CAR T-cell factory that stretches out across the research center's 12th floor. So tell me about where we are.
Yes, we are at Seattle Children's Cure Factory. This is a facility that we designed in order to manufacture these CAR T-cell products, which are products that are made from a children's own body, their own immune cells that leave their body, come into this factory, and over the course of a week or two, we reprogram the T-cells and they're ready to go back to the clinic and treat the patient. And this is the next pillar of medicine, actually living cells as a medicine. And you need a facility like this designed specifically to do that kind of work, to make those kinds of medicines.
And the big question, what is a CAR T-cell and how does CAR T therapy work?
Yeah. So a CAR T-cell is a chimeric antigen receptor, that's CAR, and a T-cell is an infection-fighting white blood cell of our immune system. And when you put the CAR and the T-cell together, what you have is a genetically engineered immune cell that basically has a new app. And that app is the ability to recognize a cancer cell and be able to destroy it as if you're fighting the common cold. So it's really a revolution in using the power of a child's own immune system and adapting that immune system through genetic engineering to be a therapy for cancer.
So what cell type is this?
Those are likely a mixture, but primarily what's called astrocytes that are cancerous, so they're glioma.
Back in the Vitanza lab, tumor research using biopsies, like Gavin's, are beginning to pay off. So the work that you're doing with these cells that you're culturing, how does that fit into the types of treatments that you're able to offer in the clinic?
The only reason we know what targets we wanted for our CAR T-cell trials was by looking at tumor cells, staining the top of them, seeing what antigens were present that were there but not on normal brain. So one of the programs we have at Seattle Children's is even for children with DIPG, when they have a biopsy and the amount of tissue we get is close to microscopic, we still bring it to the lab and try to generate models. Once we get the cells growing, through the expertise of our team and our collaborators, we can grow the cells into the millions and hundreds of millions and freeze them down.
Gavin's biopsy revealed key information about his tumor.
So Gavin's specific study is targeting something called B7H3, which is not necessarily is something that people know or see on the news, but it's a molecule that's present on pediatric brain tumors, particularly DIPG, and doesn't seem to be present in very high levels on normal brain, which gives us what we consider a therapeutic window. In this case, Gavin was getting a first-in-human treatment, CAR T-cells directed against B7H3, delivered directly into the brain.
Gavin would be a true pioneer. You can't see it, but there's a small port hidden under Gavin's hair where his CAR T cells are infused. His first round was in September 2021.
What's the husky?
Oh, that one looks like a husky, right? It's got a little tongue, too.
So in Gavin's case, he gets his CAR T-cells into the ventricles, a fluid compartment that's just over the pons, the area of the brain where his tumor is. And our hope is that they'll circulate past and then enter. But a lot of this is still unknown.
You know, we were very, very nervous